Ladies and gentlemen, we are back with another episode of the Piledriver. And tonight I am joined by a very special co-host, the one and only voice of Mega Championship Wrestling, the guy with the bow tie, Joshua Gjonaj. How are you, my friend?
I am doing great. Thank you so much for allowing me to be a part of this. It's a dream. It's a dream to be on, and I am here, not behind the booth, but I'm here to join you.
We are here. We're live. And so we're going to go over Mega Championship Wrestling. They just had their event back to business on Saturday evening at Lorain County Community College Fieldhouse. And man, it was a great event. Left me personally with some very, very big expectations for the next event in November, man. I'm excited already, and I only know 3 matches. There's 3 matches, and we only know, three competitors in one? So
pretty much. And also, if you haven't already, people, get your tickets today because tickets are up for sale.
Oh, yeah. I already talked to Papa Jeff. I'm locked in. It's me and Zoe that weekend, so I'll have the kids, so we'll probably be there a little early to hang out. And she likes to hang out backstage. She feels like when she's more included or she needs to help do something, she'll help y'all tear the ring down too. I told she will. But yeah, I talked to Papa Jeff. Like he said, get over and get your tickets. We're at Yap City, right? It's mcw.yapcity. Yep. I'll share the link so you can get over and get your tickets. Well, let's get in and let's recap this. We started the evening off, in my opinion, pretty hot. I mean, we had a pre-show match with Mucho Machismo, Luis Diavani going one-on-one against Metal Heart, Tony Forge. I love it when the rookies go, man. The rookies are showing out in Mega lately. The rookie class is phenomenal.
Let's not forget, Luis Diavani, former Brass Knuckles title holder.
Agreed.
And what a reign he has had, even though he lost it on Thursday Turmoil. If you go Mega Championship Wrestling on Facebook, watch Thursday Turmoil. Luis Diavani has been improving a lot lately, during the whole summertime, showing what he could do in the ring. And I have a history with Tony, you know me.
Yeah, they don't give that Brass Knuckles title. It's not just something that's handed. It's definitely earned. So he was the champion, but it's still, as we've told everybody before, the Brass Knuckles Championship is I hate to do it like that. It's the training championship. It's the championship for the rookies. So him still being, coming out of that class at least, and Tony, just great match to start it off and kind of get the crowd behind it. Luis did win. He was able to come out victorious. And I'm going to try not to say it wrong because they were going to yell at me. Chambea at ringside, looking real good, man. I'm really excited for this group.
Now, the cool thing about having a group here in Mega Championship Wrestling, there's a lot of groups in there. Some of them I don't get along with, and I know you personally like them, but
That's right.
I got to give them credit. There's Cash Inc. There's also the Mega Church, and there was the Rat Pack. Just to name a few, but having a stable in Mega Championship Wrestling will make you a name for yourself. It gives you opportunities left and right, and to be a part of big matches like what the Mega Church is doing, like Cash Inc. is doing.
Well, not only that, plus you got somebody to always watch your back.
Yes.
So that doesn't hurt. Next matchup, we had the mouthpiece of the masses, Nick Nero, who hates rookies. We've let everybody know that he hates rookies. Aaron Alloway kind of pushed him to a limit there at one point. I'm very excited to see what's in store for the future of young Aaron Alloway. But Nick Nero was able to, let everybody know, and he was able to pull out the victory and show why he hates the rookies. He did win the match. But like I said, Aaron was very eye-opening. I've seen him once or twice before, but this time I actually got to sit and watch and not have to great. He's got a future. I'm excited for him.
Most definitely. I mean, the kid is 19 years old. I mean, Aaron Alloway has a lot of charisma to be built up, and he's making a name for himself, which is perfect. I mean, Nick Nero, what an opponent to have, such as Nick Nero. But before that, like we saw Alloway on the go home show of Thursday Turmoil taking on Tim.
Yeah,
And as much as it was a oppressive matchup, even though Alloway was a little short coming off with a win, but he put on a showcase in that match.
100%. Well,
And of
we've seen him go against Chris Onyx. I believe he went against Chris Onyx at Saturday Night Slam out at Victory Park. Was it Saturday Night
yes,
Slam? A
I believe
great
it
match.
was.
I think that
Yes.
was the first time that I saw him, and I was impressed. And again, Cash Inc. I was following Chris Onyx. I was there to watch Chris Onyx. I saw Aaron Alloway, and I've been paying attention ever since. So
Yeah, never sleep on Aaron Alloway, because you see, as much as he was so close to getting a huge victory, even though if you watch the Mega Championship Wrestling's pre show where I was there just to talk to the stars before they head out to the event, Alloway told me to keep a lookout because he did a dropkick to Nick Nero once on Thursday Turmoil. He hit 3 dropkicks. He told me he was going to do 2. For God's sakes, he did
yeah,
3.
he hit 3. I think my favorite of the my favorite move he hit was that rolling neck breaker out of the corner was fire. I love that. That was a great solid move. Real close, like I said, and we've seen it already. I believe it was shared through Mega Championship Wrestling when they interacted in the back. Nero hit him with the old, Fast and the Furious style quote, man. Doesn't matter if you won by an inch or a mile, winning is winning, and Nero pulled it out and won. So great showing by Aaron Alloway. Definitely somebody to keep your eye on.
Yes.
Another match, the next match was not announced. This match was not on the card. It was,
I have my rundown sheet, and I
the
did not see
Alaskan
anything.
ice cream mogul comes out, and I think he just came out to cut a little smack. He wanted to talk a little. He wanted to let the people know he's got a lot of money, and he wanted to kind of throw it around. He comes out, he tells everybody, I'm the biggest, baddest in Mega Championship Wrestling, Cole Johnson. Well, definitely the biggest. I can't necessarily give him the quote of the baddest, but he's up there for sure, because Mega holds, Shoguns and Bryson Tellers and Derek Dillingers. So I can't necessarily say the baddest, but definitely the biggest. Paxton Calloway comes out to show young Colt Johnson a thing or two.
If you have never seen Paxton Calloway in person, it is so unreal. You think, looking at footage, you're like, this guy's not tall. If you stand next to him,
100%.
Like, oh my God.
Yeah, because I'm by no means a tall guy. I'm like 5'10", so like I'm not tall at all. And like I have to look, hey, what's going on, Pax? And because he's up there, like
yes,
it's a little ridiculous. I don't think Colt Johnson got one move of offense, and he did try to get a choke slam from the top rope that ended up badly for him. It ended with a last ride power bomb that I believe Colt almost touched the rafters.
Oh man, I mean, just the choke slam that Paxton did to Colt Johnson, and the hat went flying out of Colt Johnson. It was just crazy.
That's in the TikTok that made the TikTok I made today. Yeah, the hat just goes bouncing out of the ring. And then another thing, when he wrapped his arms around the top rope, there was a look of fear in Colt Johnson's eyes when that big hand was coming towards him that I don't think I've seen in a long time.
I don't like Colt Johnson.
Colt Johnson. I got nothing but love for Colt Johnson. He's sticking with it. I'm about it. So hopefully he doesn't, can learn a little bit from this, and maybe he'll keep quiet at the next event, or maybe request, maybe request somebody smaller to fight.
Right.
This next match had stipulations going into, another match in the evening. We had a number 1 contenders match for the tag team championships. The tag team titles would be on the line later in the evening. But we're going to find out who the new number 1 contender is going to be. One of my favorites, you've already referenced it, Cash Inc. shows up. You got the party posse, Tic-Taco and Jimmy. Norm, who, by the way, had his little spray bottle, and he looked fantastic at ringside.
I agree.
Raven and Sebastian LaShawn representing the mega church, and JVM and RJ Jonesy, the father son duo. And this match was awesome. I mean, first off, I want to shout out to Sebastian's ring gear because the Anubis mask and that was fire. I can't speak good enough about this match. There was so much going on the whole time. My
And if you
only Go ahead.
Oh, go on. No, I was gonna say that if you have not followed any of like Mega Championship Wrestling, like everybody has a history with one another. We're just thinking about it, like with the Mega Church with Jonesy and JVM last year when it was the Rat Pack facing the Mega Church.
Yep.
We had Party Posse and Cash Inc. And now like it's everybody knew each other so well. And I said this on a commentary, and it's an interesting fact that I'm gonna share it out here. Uh, Five of those eight competitors are former tag team champs.
Yes.
Three has never won it. And what an opportunity to have that chance to showcase. If you are interested in becoming a champion, you go after the tag titles. If you have a partner, you definitely want to go after those tag titles.
Oh, 110%. I mean, I'm not saying that the tag team division is easy by any means, but like stated earlier, it's always easier if you got somebody watching your back. The first team eliminated, sadly, was the father-son duo. And they, the Italian blood came out in them, and they found some pizza ringside, and that was cool. So that sucks they didn't. At least they had a nice consolation prize going after it.
Yeah, for sure.
My only gripe, I guess, about this match is Jimmy didn't seem like he wanted to tag Tic Taco, and there was a very lack of Tic Taco in this match. We, at one point, me and there were some fans behind me. We got a "We Want Taco" chant going because he just wouldn't get the tag, or he would go and he just couldn't make his way into this match. And I don't think that helped the Party Posse. I believe they were the next ones eliminated, correct?
So it was yes, it was definitely the Party Posse because as I keep plugging in Turmoil, you see TikToko riding solo, and like
Mm-hmm.
he said to me during the pre show for the live video, he was stating like, I guess I have a partner, and like Jammer was just like
Well,
right there, like
we've said that before. It seems like there's been some tension in the posse. We've noticed it. It has been there. They're still come out, and they're still seeming like they want the party to stay going. But I don't know, man. It came down to Cash Inc. and the Mega Church, who have had this beef going on since the last time I saw you before Saturday was at the captain's game, where they wanted to find out who was the best tag team in
yes,
Mega
definitely.
Championship Wrestling.
And like, yeah, of course, I don't mean to sound like I'm not supposed to be biased or anything, but the devil, I'm going to call him that, the devil, Ken Vasion, trying to get Sebastian LaShawn to leave the church to join Cash Inc. Now, look, I get what Ken is trying to do. I think Ken was just scared about this whole tag team because, he's afraid that if his team loses, they don't get another shot anytime soon. And I
Exactly.
get
That
it.
puts them at the bottom of the totem pole.
Yes, and I get it. And as much as Skyler does not like me, he always gives me a stare every single time he comes out to the ring.
He doesn't like me either, and I'm one of their biggest supporters, and he gives me shit all the time when he tells me to shut up and all that, and I'm cheering for him. So it's nothing. It's not just you, bud.
Yeah, okay, I'm just saying. And then like of course, and then like same thing with the mega church, even though like I had some issues with the mega church because I was trying to tell everybody to the Mega Mafia about the results of JVM and Jonesy to tell them like, hey, JVM is the father, and mega church destroyed that, and then Sebastian snipped my hair off, and as you can see, I cut that long hair, and now I'm rolling with the short hair because I
I
was
know it
scared
looks
to get.
great though. It looks great though.
Thank you, and it's just and as much as Sebastian LaShawn got into it with Ken Vasion, let's not forget Ken tried to get involved in this, and you know what? I was happy what Sebastian did to Ken. I could watch that over and over again, but unfortunately, as much as the results, it was a clean sweep.
The plan worked. Ken getting involved did exactly what it was supposed to do. He did his job as a manager, got in a match where there was no disqualifications, and Cash Inc. was able to come out victorious as your new number one contenders for the Mega Tag Team Championships.
And it was a clean sweep for them.
It was.
They eliminated all three teams, and that's impressive to pull on a hell of a performance like that. As much as I don't like them, I'll give them credit. It was a hell of a performance.
We've had them on the podcast before, and I will continue to give them flowers. I have been a Cash Inc. follower since Ashton Day was in there, Mega Champion, and even before when Ashton was not the Mega Champion. I was following Cash Inc. I've loved this faction for a long time now. So
I'm so sorry.
It's okay. It's okay. Like I said, everybody's always treated me pretty good except for Skylar. Gavin and Ken, they treat me great. They know they know that the pile driver loves them. Skylar, I don't think he does. He hasn't accepted it yet. It's okay.
Ken doesn't like me. I don't like Ken, but that's okay.
That's okay. That's all right. And speaking of a clean sweep, let's move on into the next match where we had another member of Cash Inc. Just recently, he was on the show. I've been a fan of this guy since the first time I saw him, and he came out as a bodyguard of Ken's. And I said immediately after that show, we said this on the podcast before. Immediately after that show, I sent Ken a message. I said, "Yo, who the hell is that?" Because he looks like he's a beast. Ken let me know. That's my bodyguard. That's Chris Onyx. I have been behind Chris Onyx 110%, and he's done nothing but prove me right. And from going 0-0 to the 3-0 to 4-0 to brass knuckles champion to taking on another one of my favorite mega superstars at Back to Business, Ashton Day.
Now, Chris Onyx, I try to stay far away from Chris because, especially for catering, if Chris Onyx is coming to catering, I make sure I get catering right after him because I don't want to deal with Chris Onyx because especially the cold stare he gives me because I can't even talk to as much as I tried to talk to Ken because we'll talk about it when we talk about the tag team title match. Ken joined me on commentary, but before that, it was like you said, a clean sweep, and it was not for the brass knuckles title. But it was something for Chris Onyx to be put in that position because Christian Napier, of course, Christian Napier has a history with Ashton Day, and he was telling the Mega office that he's not to mess with at all, and that he's not Ashton Day is not worth his time anymore.
Yeah. He doesn't even, it's like he doesn't want to face Ashton. So, and we'll talk about this. I want to ask you a question. I was going to ask you a question about this after we'll talk about the results of this match and what happened afterwards.
Yeah.
Great match between these two guys. I mean, again, I've been following Ashton for a while. The man's got skills. Chris Onyx, again, I've been right this whole time. Once again, he proves me right and puts on a phenomenal match with Ashton Day, where he actually comes out victorious. I don't know if I would necessarily call it clean because Cash Inc. was barred from ringside.
Yes.
They did show out, but all they did was grab Ashton's foot a little bit. They grabbed a little foot. Again, they weren't supposed to do that.
No.
The ref didn't see it. I can't remember if it was ref Nick Barney. I can't remember which ref it was ref in that match. He was worried. He had other reffing things he was worried about. Unfortunately, he did not see Cash Inc. slide in. I believe they slid under the ring actually or something. They hid down there on the other side. Ashton got hit with a Blue Thunder Bomb, and Chris Onyx gets the 1-2-3 over the former mega heavyweight champion.
Now, as Chris Onyx calls it, he calls it the DTW, down the way. And I mean, yes, it was disgusting to see that Cash Inc. was a part of that matchup because they had no right business. They were barred at ringside.
I concur, and I hate to say this, they were barred from ringside. Had they not been verbally barred. We heard him say it. They were barred from ringside. Had that not been spoken, and they just showed up how they normally do. Onyx comes out by himself and they come out afterwards. I'd probably feel a little bit different about it. I still feel that without them, Chris Onyx had this in the bag. He was looking phenomenal, my guy. And I'm just going to overlook it. Chris Onyx in the record books, that's how it stands. Chris Onyx over Ashton Day. I've been saying it for weeks. And that's a clean sweep for Cash Inc. on Back to Business.
And let's not forget what happened afterwards.
And that's exactly where I was going.
Yes.
Ashton Day says Cash Inc.'s been a thorn in his side ever since he left the group, and then actually apologized to the fans for putting us through that while he was a part of the group, and then challenged Cash Inc. At one more battle, to Ring Chaos, to a War Games match.
It's very bone chilling just to hear that, because Ashton Day, he wants to put this behind him. He wants to move forward. He's a peacock. He wants to fly.
He's been trying, and it seems like Cash Inc. just won't leave him alone.
Yeah.
The only problem he's had is with Christian.
Yes. And of course, War Games at November 11th, folks. Make sure you mark your calendars. November 11th. And now this could be the final chapter of put everything behind him. I mean, yes, Ashton Day, he was a part of Cash Inc. And then he realized that he could make a name for himself without having backup.
And he started doing so. And I think that it was taken, badly by Cash Inc. And that was when Christian showed back up. Now, my question that I wanted to ask for you, he said, Team Cash Inc. versus Team Ashton Day. So obviously, on this side, we have Ashton Day. On this side, we have Cash Inc. Gavin, Skylar, Chris, and Christian? Or Gavin, Skylar, Christian, or Gavin, Skylar, Chris, and Ken? Because Ashton's called out Christian, and Christian has, blown it off, so to speak. I'm kind of concerned for Cash Inc. if Christian decides that maybe he doesn't want to show up. Maybe this isn't worth his salt anymore, and I don't know.
Well, to answer this, because as you know, Ashton and Christian, they had a history together. They were like brothers at one point. And then last year during the summertime, it was the feud of the summer. And yes, what Ashton said to Christian about his grandfather passing, it was kind of sickening. But now that Ashton has a change of heart, things kind of changed, because just when you thought Christian Napier was going to help out Ashton, and it was a surreal moment just to see that hatchet finally being buried by those guys. And then all of a sudden, just an unexpected turn of events. We saw what Christian Napier did, turn his back on Ashton and just side with Kent.
Yeah, I remember that. I was there vividly for that. I was front row for that one. And I thought that Christian came out to save him. And I was like, man, they've had their turmoils, but he was realized that, Ashton's, and then, oh man, I was let down by that one. So it's okay. I again, Cash Inc.'s doing what's best for business. You're not going to get me to hate Cash Inc., Josh.
No, I'm sorry. I'm not trying to, but it's just like I said, ever since I joined Mega, Ken has been after me since the start. And now, folks, I'm not a part of War Games. I'm here to call the action. I'm not a part of it. And I'm not going after Ken if Ken is going to be a part of this War Games. No, thank you. I'm going to stay behind the desk where I'm going to call the action.
And that's fine. And you are very unbiased. You got it, and you do a great job.
Thank you.
But my question is, I want to know, do you have any early predictions for Team Ashton Day? Because I'm going to jump into this, and I'm going to go into this a little bit later. I got some stuff going on, and I'm going to talk about Neo Pro after we get done talking about Mega. But
Yeah.
this coming Saturday at Neo Pro Set the Standard, Ashton Day is in a match with somebody very, very well known. The franchise Shane Douglas. It's clear that Ashton Day, if you follow any of Ashton Day's socials, you've seen he's been making some pretty well-known friends lately.
Yes.
Team Ashton Day could be phenomenal.
Yes, absolutely. I mean, God, if I had to pick, like, you were talking about how much Ashton is becoming friends with all these guys. I mean, EC3 comes to mind.
And think of the connections. That's what I'm saying. Think of the people that he's
Yes.
met through EC3 and Exodus, because you've seen him on Exodus. You've seen Ashton Day on Exodus. You've seen him on Circle 6. You like places like, dude, just the people he's met that I'm sure he could call and say, hey, I need a partner. Just, and then again, like you said, I hate saying it because I hate saying bad stuff about Ken and Cash Inc. They don't make a lot of friends. They don't make a lot of friends. You know what I'm saying? So when Ashton calls whoever he calls and says, hey, I need some help fighting Christian Napier, Skylar and Gavin, Cash Inc., people are going to jump at that opportunity, I'm guessing.
Oh yeah, most definitely. I mean, as long as I get to see Ken getting his face smacked around, if Ken is going to be a part of it, I'll be okay with it. And you know what? Same thing with Skylar, because I think that he needs to be taught a little respect.
Okay, well, touche. I mean, and we shall see as it goes on. We'll let you know here on the Piledriver as soon as teams are announced, as soon as players are announced in this match. I can't wait already. This pay-per-view is looking amazing, or this event's looking amazing. Next match, I hate to say it was my favorite match of the evening, but his matches are always probably my favorite. The Infinity Champion Butchie B defended his title against Dio Salvador, who kind of just inserted himself into the match on Turmoil. And the Infinite Man, Tim, this was a phenomenal match, man.
It was triple threat rules, and Dio Salvador was announced just on like last minute, because you see Brandon Xavier is about giving opportunities, and Dio Salvador was so close on winning that Infinity Championship. And of course, Tim doesn't want to face anybody else. He doesn't want to face a new person who's going to hold that gold. He wants Butchie, like you said. He wants Butchie, so of course he had to save that matchup. So he had to do what he had to do, but also Tim has been gone from Mega. He's been suspended. And of course, making his return at Thursday Turmoil, and then being in front of the Mega Mafia. Listen, as much as he's a pain in the rear end for everyone, especially our matchmaker / general manager of Mega Championship Wrestling, Brandon Xavier. Brandon Xavier stacked the odds, and he made it into a triple threat match.
And it didn't disappoint. I mean, I've followed Dios for a while. Since I've met him, actually, I was unaware. I met him at one of the Mega events, and I kind of fell in love with his whole swagger, dude. He's really good. I've been a fan of Butchie forever. That's my boy. And Tim always puts on a show. I mean, everybody went back and forth in this match, and it was, I don't remember. It was, I'll give it about 3/4 of the way through the match. The general manager makes an appearance just to watch. He's just standing there watching. Tim notices, drops Butchie immediately, walks over to kind of to the ropes to confront Brandon, gets the roll up. Butchie gets the roll up on him to retain the Infinity title and walk out with a W. So congrats to Butchie. But again, the bigger story is what happened after the match. The last couple events, like you said, the reason that Tim was suspended is because he decided to put hands on referee Nick Barney. Well, little does Tim know that referee Nick Barney has since been training. And at one more battle, there will be another War Games match. Team Tim versus Team Brandon Xavier. And Brandon has already let us in on his first partner. Referee Nick Barney will be donning some tights, stepping into the squared circle in another role, trying to kick Tim's ass, basically.
And you see, like, Nick Barney, like it was a shock for everyone just to see, like, cause like as much as Tim was just poking the bear a lot, trying to make Nick Barney to swing, but Nick Barney is just doing his job as a official, because you see, as people who are not in ring performers, we cannot touch talent, because you see, if we touch any of the wrestlers, we will be suspended indefinitely and we will miss the events. So that's a little insider for the fans here to know about this. Like,
which is why when stuff like what happens with Tim, like during this triple threat match, Tim decided to grab Nick's leg and pull him out when I believe Butchie, or it could have been Dios actually, was going to get the 1-2-3. He pulled Nick Barney out of the ring. Nick Barney got upset. Don't put your hands on me. I'm the referee. You're not allowed to touch me. I'm not allowed to touch you. Mutual respect. And Tim doesn't seem to have it. I can't wait. Again, this is another, like, I hate to say a Cash Inc. scenario. Tim hasn't made any friends at Mega Championship Wrestling.
No.
So it's going to be tough to find partners.
It really is going to be a tough one. And if you did not see the Mega exclusive where Nick Ritters was talking to Nick Barney, and I was going to have a little quick word with Nick Barney just to see how he feels to be stepping foot in the ring instead of wearing stripes, like you said, tights, and going to be in a match. And then all of a sudden, Tim from behind ambushing Nick Barney and then slamming his arm into the locker. I mean, it was terrifying.
He's because trying to take him out already.
Yes, and then, like, that's a little concerning, because especially for Brandon Xavier, because November is, I mean, these days are going like that, and you never know. November 11th, that injury could not be fully 100%. And for what I'll give the fans here some update. Nick Barney went into the medical facility to get his arm checked out, and hopefully everything is going good. And he just he texted me. He said he got out, and he's just slowly just making sure he doesn't do any pressure on that.
Yeah. 110%. I hope everything is okay. I'm really excited for Nick to get this opportunity to kind of go in and kick some ass. Next, we had a amazing tag team championship match. Our mega tag team champions, the Philly Marino Experience, defending their titles against a team that I've personally never seen in Mega since I've come back to Mega, but I've seen both of these men around in other promotions, mainly Circle 6 for Vincent Nothing and RCW for Ricky Shane Page. Faith in Nothing, which is a killer ass team name. If I'm being 100%, I love it.
Oh, for sure.
They, coming in trying to take the titles from the Philly Marino Experience, and just a great match that ended up bloody at some point because of some elbows and headbutts, I think. I also heard that you had a special guest join you for this match.
Do we have to talk about that?
Yeah. The voice of Cash Inc. Ken joined you on commentary for this match. How was it being joined by greatness?
I could have done it by myself, but I had James Hellwig, not that warrior, but the warrior, joined me. But he said he gifted me a surprise, and he had to leave, and then Ken had to join me, and then Ken had to be all about Ken. But back to the tag team championships on the line. It's been since 2007, I want to say, that Ricky Shane Page and Vincent Nothing won those mega tag team titles.
Yeah, and it's been a while.
It's been a huge while, and then this is like when Ricky Shane Page was formerly known as Christian Faith.
Okay.
And
So
now,
that's where the team name comes from. Okay, that
yes,
makes more sense because I was trying to correlate the RSP and the faith, and I was like, I mean, I get Vincent Nothing. That's where the
yes,
in nothing comes from. Okay,
yes.
so that makes more sense. Now my next question is you is I didn't see where this blood came from. Where was it? A well timed elbow by Ricky Shank? Because Marino was bleeding first,
Mhm.
and then RSP was bleeding, and then they were leaking. And we've seen since then they've both posted a photo of themselves afterwards backstage, just next to each other. Couple stitches for Marino. I'm not sure on RSP. Like it was bad.
Ricky is one of like, like this is a platform, like typically I don't speak this on the commentary. One of the badass dudes ever.
Oh yeah, yeah.
And
Feel free. You're allowed. We
yeah,
are good. Say whatever you want here, buddy.
and like Ricky like is not afraid of a little blood. As you saw Ricky
Oh
coming
yeah.
out with both MLW titles that he has won.
Currently,
He's Yes, currently he defeated I want to say Jacob Batu, if I'm correct.
yes, for the MLW
Yes.
Heavyweight Championship.
And he's been guided by Raven. And you see, to be in that position and then bringing those titles in Mega, in front of the Mega Mafia, was so mind boggling just to see.
And it's crazy too because that's only another thing that like you start here. Look, started from the bottom. Now we here. Like MLW is that's no slouch joke. That's no
Oh,
slouch promotion. That's big time, buddy. And like, yeah, I agree. When I saw him walk in the building earlier and I saw those titles, I said, "Oh shit!" Like I was like, "Yeah, I forgot that he was the champ for him." And I thought, and I was like, "Yes, he is." Oh damn, they're pretty. So that was nice to see that. Unfortunately, despite all the blood, they were not able to come out with a victory. So I'm going to assume at one more battle, we will have PME versus Cash Inc. for the tag team championships. It has not been announced yet. I'm going to assume they could make it wait, because Cash Inc. again has the War Games match. So I
yeah,
don't know if they're going to have to pull double duty if they want their shot.
right.
Which again, that could very well happen.
And let's not forget, PME has won those titles from Skylar and Gavin to
Exactly. That's
become a
exactly who they took
three
them.
time, three time, that
First
lucky
time
number
ever,
three.
right? First time ever, 3-time champions.
Yes,
I was gonna
yes,
say
the
first
first
time
time.
ever.
And
So
it's the luck of the number three keeps going. As much as everyone wants to talk about how lucky three is, having that, and it was a big task for both Marino and Billy Collins to be involved in this match with RSP and Vincent Nothing. But as much it was a bloody war, they put
oh
on
yeah.
one of a hellacious tag team match. And I know Ken was smiling because Ken was hoping that, hey, if one of these guys win, they will have to vacate the tag team titles to the number one contenders. And I
Exactly.
knew for a fact that I did not want to listen to Ken anymore. I just wanted Ken to get out of here. But of
Well,
course,
you had Ken with you the whole time. So
yes, and of course I had three of the other guys. I got Onyx, Gavin, I had Skylar, all throwing in there, and I had to state the facts that you guys lost the tag team titles. Facts are facts. I'm doing my job as a
yeah.
commentator.
Oh yeah. It's not like you were stating BS or something. You weren't talking
No,
shit just to talk shit. You were legitimately stating facts that PME. That's how they won the titles. They defeated Cash Inc.
mhm.
So I'm sure Ken didn't take that too lightly.
Nope, nope. Of course he
This is
didn't.
what it is. But it will be at some point PME against Cash Inc. for the rematch for the tag team titles. This next match, when it was first announced, I was beyond words. I've seen both of these men. The only time I've ever seen Jason Kincaid was at Mega last time in the LC Fieldhouse. And I've seen Alex Daniels ever since he came back. The only match I've missed from Alex Daniels was apparently the 5-star match that was put on between him and Butchie B. But Alex Daniels, one-on-one with Jason the Gift Kincaid, did not disappoint. Before I tell you who won, I will tell you that this match received a standing ovation afterwards, as it well freaking deserved. It did everything I said it's been, in the past couple weeks that I said I was going to do. These men put on a wrestling clinic. It was beautiful.
Both men traveling around the world, but never have they ever crossed paths in the middle of the squared circle.
I did not know that. I didn't know this was their first time going one-on-one. That's cool. So yeah, even more so because they looked flawless. Like they just meshed together the wrestling for every hold that Jason had. Alex had a reversal or a counter, and vice versa for Alex. I'm super impressed with Alex Daniels, man. Every time I see him, I just get more and more, excited for his journey as well. Also, this weekend coming up, he will be in one of the fatal 4-way matches in the championship eliminator series for Neo Pro Wrestling. So if he can walk out of that, he will be going, for a spot at that heavyweight championship.
And speaking of Alex Daniels having that Neo Pro, RCW Wednesday, he will be involved in a fatal 4-way. He will be taking on the good pastor, because I don't want to get yelled at by
That's
Norm
right.
for that.
That's right.
Stilo taking on Ashton Day and Puff.
That's right. Ooh. I was gonna say that. That's so that's, and I believe he just won a title. Hold on. I don't know. he just won it. I'm like, dang it. I just saw it and I had it in the back of my tongue. Alex Daniels, boom, 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 boom. Power Slam Pro Wrestling. New Power Slam Pro Wrestling heavyweight champion. He won it on Sunday.
Yes.
So that's one belt. He has an opportunity to go for the Neo Pro belt. He has an opportunity to go for the RCW belt. We're going to have to start calling him the belt collector, Alex Daniels, at this point. I mean,
but we'll talk about what he did at the end of the show.
This match did not disappoint, man. And in my opinion, this was my favorite match of the night. There was a couple of them that I was really excited for. Chris Onyx Ashton, Butchie B, which I thought was going to be Butchie B and Tim, which turned out to be an even better addition with Dios. But this match, I wanted it to be really good, and it was really, really, really good. So shout out to them guys for putting on a show for all of us in attendance. The next match, when we talk about these matches, I always feel like I have to say this beforehand. You better make sure the ring is reinforced before you invite the Mega Hoss division to come play. And I'm speechless, first off, over Angel Camacho. I had never seen this man before, and that's a big guy, man.
God.
That's a big guy. Like, I thought Mo was big. That's a big guy.
Mm-hmm. And, it as what Norm and I said on the commentary booth, because Norm joined me throughout the whole show. Big, beefy man slapping me in the middle of
bumping meat.
Yes. I was so excited to call this match because, you see, the Haas division has been just making ways, dating back at breaking down barriers where Mo took on Miles Jacobs. And because it was Mike Michaels, Big Mo, Angel Camacho, and Miles Jacobs. And as what me and Norm said in the commentary booth, Miles Jacobs, being the smallest guy in that match, did not disappoint at all.
Hey, I'm about it. I'm a fan. I'm a fan.
It was fantastic. And you see, Miles Jacobs was not afraid to beat the smallest guy because, yes, he could have had an opportunity, but he was not fazed by the size by the 3 other competitors in that match. And Mike Michaels was accompanied by the Professor.
Oh, we already talked about the Professor today on Facebook. He gave me detentions. I got a video of it. 5 detentions. I'm at one more battle. Professor has vowed to bring his slips, and I will get detention for a whole week. So
I can't get you out of that one. I'm sorry, bud.
It's okay, buddy. I don't feel like I did anything to deserve it. Whatever. It's okay. He'll probably forget anyways. He always does. The winner of this match, though, was definitely not the man that I assumed it was going to be going in. And I can't say that I'm surprised, because for Angel Camacho to come in and dominate this match the way he did, and then I'm mind blanking right here because he didn't buy what's his finishing move? What's it called? Or give me
So
the
how?
WWE reference to it.
Yes, yes, yes. As Angel Camacho calls it, he calls it the Camacho Bomb.
Okay.
Connecting it, and you see, as Angel Camacho, he posted on Mega Championship Wrestling's Facebook page. He came home. This was a grand, like, welcoming home for Angel Camacho.
There was multiple Angel Camacho shirts in the crowd,
And he was going to show all the so-called, as he likes to call it, hosses, what a real big man is. And there was a lot of words exchanged between Mo and Camacho on Thursday Turmoil. He said, Mo has stated that Angel Camacho has created the Haas division, yes, but while Angel Camacho has left, Big Mo has rebuilt it. And I got legit, like, here you go. I got goosebumps going on right now.
Mo is the man. It's not hard. It's not far-fetched to say. You wouldn't be lying in the slightest to say that Mo is the fan favorite at Mega Championship Wrestling. We love Mo. So, for Mo to go in there and favorite to win, in my opinion, was Mo. It's when I saw the car, I said, oh, yeah, he looks scary, but that's Mo. Like, and while Mo didn't get pinned, who took the pin? What did it say?
Yeah, I believe it was Mike Michaels who took the pin.
Okay, Mike Michaels, yes. So it wasn't Mo that took the pin. I'm very much hoping that this leads to Camacho versus Mo in the future.
Oh, yes. I mean, during the match, we saw a wild. No, it was Miles Jacobs who took the pin, because we saw a wild Tyreek Kalam getting involved.
That's
who was
correct.
Not in the matchup, and he was not scheduled to be at the Back to Business
event. I didn't think he was there at all.
The rumors have been going around saying that Tyreek Kalam is here, and I being backstage, I didn't see Tyreek Kalam anywhere, and Kalam has taken care of the Mike Michaels situation, because what the professor and Mike Michaels are doing to Tyreek Kalam, making his life a living hell. As much as it was taking care of it, making it into a triple threat match, costing Mike Michaels that matchup, we saw Angel Camacho hitting that Camacho bomb, getting the 1-2-3, but he was offering Mo, he offered a handshake to Angel Camacho, say, hey, the better man has won, and Angel Camacho did not want to shake.
Yes, he
did not want to shake that.
The disrespect was there, which again is why I'm hoping that these two men go at it, because I get to say it one more time. Big meaty men bumping meat, buddy. That match, favorite spot of the night came in that match. It was the quad clothesline. The quad clothesline between all four of those guys when they went down was just epic.
Oh, yes.
So, I mean, Angel Camacho shows back up. He takes home the W in the Haas division and basically claims what he says to be his. And then last but most certainly not least, the Mega Championship was on the line as Bryson Teller defended against friend of the pod, the good one, Pasta CeeLo.
1 year difference between both of these guys. It was a 1 year making. One-on-one, these two have last time had a one-on-one match with one another. We saw what Bryson faced CeeLo breaking down barriers, but it was a fatal four-way.
Yeah.
But now the talking on social media, the talking on Turmoil is now over. Bryson doesn't have jacket anymore. CeeLo has a mega church with him. A lot of things have changed between both of these guys.
And we've said that a bunch of times. We've had CeeLo on a few times, as you know, and I've followed CeeLo. I remember the first time I saw Pastor CeeLo, he was nothing like he is now. The 180 turn has been, he found the mega church, and in my opinion, it has done nothing for him but good. It's catapulted him into a stratosphere where he knows that he's the best, and it takes ahead of it, and I love it. I love everything about it. I love the gimmick. I love the fact, the way the fans, whether you love or hate the mega church, you love Pastor CeeLo. The
Well,
energy that he brings to the table is bar none.
he stole my euro, so I'm a little upset about that. I still haven't seen my euro.
I saw that he had some money in the plate. I saw a piece of pizza in the plate, which I'm going to assume came from the same place that RJ Jonesy and JVM got their pizza. There was a couple other things that were added to the plate. You know, everybody's always willing to donate to the mega church, which is, you know, keeps the mega church up and running. Got to make those renovations, buddy.
Man, what a match those two has put on. And CeeLo, as he made his way to the ring, told the mega church, "Let me do this on my own." And I was
respect.
Yes, most definitely much respect. But it was a surprise for me because, like I said, everybody's going to get annoyed and be like, "Man, this guy keeps bringing up Turmoil." But if you are not watching Turmoil, we saw.
I'm so excited that Turmoil's back. Every week I watch Turmoil because I have
Yes.
Thursday nights are my kids' softball practice, and I'm not a coach this year. I'm just a dad. So I just get to hang out. It's on Thursday nights. So I'm watching Turmoil while she's practicing, and then we go home.
Yeah. There you go.
And so I get to watch Turmoil every week. I'm so glad that it's back. But yeah, and that's where you have crazy stuff happens on Turmoil. That's where Chris Onyx won the Brass Knuckles Championship. So make sure you're watching Turmoil.
Thursday nights.
But go ahead. I'm sorry.
Oh no, you're good. Make sure you tune in Thursday nights. I'm going to be there, leaving the comments/commentary. I'm happy to do that with so many of the other people who are well known in the mega.
I tried to keep up with you. I couldn't.
Yeah, you're good, man. But what happened on the Go Home show? We saw a 3-on-1 assault of Bryson Teller by Butchie B, Raven, and Sebastian, because Pastor CeeLo, barking orders, get him. And you know what? Pastor CeeLo was playing smart, trying to make a weak Bryson Teller, but there was not. Yeah, but there was not any softened spot by Bryson Teller. You couldn't tell if he was hurt or not once he got into that ring. But there was a target. There was a target by Pastor CeeLo. He targeted the arm because last year Bryson Teller put Pastor CeeLo in that armbar, and CeeLo had to tap out.
Tap out.
Yes, and now CeeLo was playing it smart. He redid his homework. He studied more Bryson Teller matches, and he figured out that, you know what? I don't want Lightning to strike twice.
If you can't put me in the armbar, you can't put me in the armbar if your arm's jacked up. So smart play. I mean, smart play by the good one. I'm not mad at it at all. Again, it's one of those where I don't want to say it because I have nothing. Again, I love Bryson Teller, and it's the biggest thing ever. Because look, you can say from this guy over here from Cleveland, Ohio, and you can say this guy over here from, Cleveland, Ohio. If you Google where we're wrestling at, we tell you where it's at. Lorain County Community College. What city is that in? And then when he comes out and it says from Elyria, Ohio, and the crowd goes nuts because that's the hometown champion. That's that home field advantage, man. That is a real thing. And in this match, after CeeLo had kind of taken control for a little bit, the hometown crowd willed Bryson back, and he was able to successfully defeat Pastor CeeLo and defend his championship once again in front of a hometown crowd.
Yes, and just when you thought the celebration was going to be all, peaches and roses, as I like to say.
This was my favorite part. I'm not discounting this match at all because, again, stellar match by Pastor CeeLo and Bryson Teller. It went all around the arena, all around the ring, outside, inside, wrestling holds to just bare knuckle brawling, basically. Bryson pulled out the victory, retains that title once again. We had no clue as to what was going to be next because he's basically defeated everybody that's come in his path. Now, Josh, please tell them what happened afterwards.
After the matchup, we saw Alex Daniels making his way to the ring, making his presence known. Hey, I'm coming after you and that title.
He didn't even say a word.
No, and you could assume, you could feel the adrenaline from the fan base, knew what was next. And I talked to Alex Daniels. I tried to get a word with him, and I said, "What's next for you?" And he said to me, and I quote, "You'll see." And boy, oh boy, did we see.
Wow, man. And like we've said, this is our third match that we have announced at One More Battle, 2-Ring Chaos. Bryson Tiller defends the Mega Championship Wrestling champion or title against maybe his biggest opponent yet. I mean, Alex Daniels is got a rocket strapped to his ass and he's headed for the moon. That's going to be a banger, dude. I have no idea.
It's going to be a all-out war, and if November 11th, folks, 2-Ring Chaos is going to be big. Get your tickets while you can.
We're back at Lorain County Community College. We're back at the field house. We are home. I'm pretty sure for the rest of the winter season. We'll be at home unless there's anything else like, side special announced.
Right. And of course, being a part of Mega, I mean, for God's sakes, me showing up at Mega, we will definitely do a podcast together to talk about this. But being a part of Mega has been such a big thing for me. And, you're talking to a guy who loves this sport for a reason, and having to commentate and fill in the shoes of guys like Joe Dombrowski, Vic Joseph, who
hold on. You're gonna touch on it. Don't start naming names because I want to talk real quick. That will wrap up our coverage for Mega Championship Wrestling. And we will see you, like I said, November 11th. And we'll keep everybody entertained on and let up to date on what's going on. Normally on the Piledriver, we do a top 5, and this. So since your profession, today we are going to do top 5 ring announcers, my friend.
Okay, ring announcer.
Your top 5, and they don't have to be necessarily in any order, and they can be, because that's what you do. They can be somebody you pulled, a majority of your experience or your from that you like. You follow their style because they do it this way, or I just want to, and like you said, we will get on a podcast and we will talk to you personally, and we will get to know a little bit more Josh Gjonaj. But I want to know, who is your favorite ring announcer of all time?
My favorite ring announcer. I mean, I have a
commentator.
I was going to say
commentator. Sorry, my bad.
No, you're good. Oh God, that's so hard because it goes everywhere. It is, and honestly, it has to be the guy before I started this whole journey, Jim Ross. I got to go with JR.
That's Paulie's favorite. And I mean, I'm probably and normally we try to keep them separate, and I'm going to try to pick different ones, but I'm going to take JR as my favorite of all time at number 1 as well. And I'll try not to pick the same ones as you because I do have a couple different ones, but that's who I grew up with. That's who I watched. That's the Hat, and him and the King are my favorite duo of all time. Nobody will ever be able to beat them in my opinion. But yes, JR is number 1 for sure.
Yes. Oh,
it's tough, buddy, ain't it? Go ahead. Number 2. What you got?
Number 2. I gotta go with a man who I just spoke to recently, Joe Dombrowski.
Okay. And he's been with Impact as well, correct?
MLW.
I'm sorry. Okay, yeah, that's right. MLW.
Dombrowski, he was before, when I joined Mega, was the lead commentator of Mega. And having to fill in that shoes, I cannot say, words can't describe how I feel. But just for Joe Dombrowski giving me advice and stuff like that, and just helping me understand, hey, as a commentator, it's not going to be easy, but you keep on going.
Okay. That's good. That's a good number too. See, that's what I wanted. I appreciate that. I knew
Yeah.
you know. All right. And my number two is actually, I'm not going to take the king. He's my favorite exciting comment. I love Joey Styles. I will always
Okay.
love Joey Styles. Oh my God. I love that. That's my favorite. Is the old ECW.
Of course.
Okay. Yeah. Joey Styles it too.
Number three for me is gotta be Tony Schiavone.
Good old Tony Schiavone.
Love Tony Schiavone. It's funny if people like follow me like on X or Twitter. I'm still gonna call it Twitter.
I still call. What are you supposed to call a tweet now?
Yeah, right. The post,
Yeah,
X post. Like,
is it an X?
Yeah,
it
just sounds
X.
weird.
It could be
It just sounds
dirty if you
weird
say
that
it like that too.
yeah. And so Shivani, I took a photo with him holding a search can, and I hold the search can, and I did the same face expression, and I tried so hard to be like, "Hey, Dad, it's me, your long lost son," but it didn't work.
Oh man, that'd have been hilarious. That's good. I always liked Shivani back in the day. I mean, I definitely love Shivani now on AEW. He does a great job. Him and Chris Jericho were some of my favorites. It was him, the way Chris Jericho always treated him was hilarious. It was kind of like the same in WWE when The Rock would shit on Michael Cole. Number three, I'm gonna put him right here in the middle because he's one of my favorites. And if you pay attention on the Piledriver, this man. I'm gonna throw him down. The Hammer, Yo Paulie is one of my favorite commentators because he does a great job. He takes his, like you said, very seriously. Paulie gets down. So, Yo Paulie, you are right there in the middle, bud. I love you.
Man, for number four, oh, this is getting tough. You know what? I'm gonna go with the Professor, Mike Tenay.
I almost took Mike Tenay at three.
Yeah, the Professor, as much as the early TNA days, wearing the whole suit, like with the bow tie and stuff like that. Tenay has always been the guy who I studied a lot because he was a guy who put over, the WCW Cruiserweight division and talking about, well, this guy's from Japan, from Mexico.
That was why I always liked WCW when we were younger. Like that was one of the reasons I watched WCW was the Cruiserweight division. I was always a big fan of Juventud Guerrero and Psychosis. I loved them. I always thought they were great. Hoovy Juice was good with and without the mask. So I was a big fan of the Cruiserweight division, Billy Kidman included.
Oh yeah.
Number four here. I think I'm gonna have to take. He's probably one of my favorite wrestlers too. King Booker T. I think he's a great commentator. He's a great podcast guy. I love listening to him. He's always got real good takes. He's obviously well versed in the business, so that helps on the commentator booth. Booker T.
Booker T, as much as he's so hilarious, he brings something else to the table.
Yeah.
Man, number five. This is where it gets tough on me because it's like I want to pick this guy, I want to pick that guy. Oh man. You know what? As much as people are finally giving him like his flowers now, I gotta go with Michael Cole. And as time as I watch wrestling, I mentioned about Tanae, I study Michael Cole a lot, and
so does Paulie.
Yeah.
The Paulie says that Paulie says it multiple times that Michael Cole is probably one of his biggest influences because, again, person we grew up on, a person that we've watched for 20 plus years. Michael Cole's been on your Friday night SmackDown or your Thursday night SmackDown or your Monday night Raw consistently.
Yes.
As we see with WWE, they don't really keep you around if you're not good at your job. I mean, I was biggest news ever to see Dolph Ziggler got cut. I was upset with that one, but that's another story for another time. But yeah, Michael Cole is definitely the biggest one. So I think I started the list off with the same one as you, and I'll finish the list with the same one as you. I'll take Michael Cole as well. Big influence. the SmackDown team with him and Taz was always one of my favorites because I love Taz as a wrestler. So him and Taz always played real good off each other. So that's good list, sir. Good list.
Especially if you watch Michael Cole and Taz on Sunday Night Heat. Goodness gracious, what fun those two had. And yes, eventually, people, if you want to follow me on my social medias, you will see
Shout them out.
Yes,
shout them out.
Follow me on Instagram, Josh Gjonaj. The last name, it's
I'll have
cheating
it spelling. I'll have it spelling in the description.
Yeah, Gjonaj. It's Joe Nye, and you will eventually hear who I am on this podcast, and goodness, those people who I named has always been an inspiration for me. And, the story I'm going to tell is going to make you guys more interested. And like I said, I'm a people person. Mike knows that I am.
I love Josh. I love Josh. Josh, it's very rare that you go to a wrestling show and you're excited to see a commentator. I look forward to seeing Josh every time I go to Mega. It's part of the reason I go.
Yes. And so, I'm happy to hear that because you'll understand the battles I go through because of depression and stuff like that. But just real fast, a huge shout out to Brandon Xavier for getting me out of that mental loop. And when he said, "Now get your butt back in the comment section for Turmoil," so
That's
people, because they miss you, and I'm like, know what? I'll come back on there and leave the comments. But yes, it was a blast to be here. I was happy. You will see me this Wednesday, people, if you have not got your tickets already. RCW Rebirth is this Wednesday. Matches have been announced. We are going to see.
I work Wednesday night, but I'm going to try my best to run through my route. I'm a delivery driver, so as long as I can get done my route, I can get out. And if I can get out on time like I did today, I can make it in time to be there for wrestling. So I'm going to try my best to make it for RCW on Wednesday night. And then go ahead.
I was going to say there's a tag team term gauntlet for the tag team championships on the line. Yes, there's going to be randomized teams, but there is well-known teams. And no, people, I'm going to say this to anybody who's going to leave a comment. No, me and Norm is not in that gauntlet match. We are calling the show. Okay. No, we're not in it.
That was my next question. I was going to ask if you and Norm were going to show up and show out.
Nope, we're not in it. I'm going to call the action with Norm, and as much as he and I, we had our differences in the past, we fixed it all up, and we're going to call the action. I'm very excited. Be sure to get your tickets. If you can't get your tickets, be sure to follow us on our Patreon at RCW.
Definitely. And then coming up Saturday, this coming Saturday the 30th, we have Neo Pro Set the Standard. Me and Dean will be sitting front row. Come out and check out that awesome show. Big title opportunities and all kinds of great matches from Neo Pro. They've done nothing but do right. Every show we've been to, they're blowing the roof off. I'm going to talk about that more later. I'm going to try to get somebody from Neo Pro later on this week before the show to come on and talk about the upcoming show. And like I said, we will have you back to get a more in-depth look at you personally, your commentary, stuff, influences and stuff like that. But I do appreciate you coming on to recap the Mega Show with me tonight, man. It's definitely been an honor to have you.
Thank you.
So if you haven't, I will link Josh's stuff in the description. Follow him on all the socials. Follow us on the socials. Like, share, comment. Every little bit helps. Make sure you drink your water, and we'll see you next time.